Students, next topic is link state routing protocol. Link state routing protocol with OSPF. So basically, OSPF, that is stands for Open Shortest Path First. So it's Open Shortest Path First. So that is designed for IP network routing, that is founded of the principles of a link state routing. And so basic function of OSPF is that it covers the maximum data transformation speed. So the advantage that for medium and even large enterprise network, they are using OSPF network right now. So it offers loop-free topology, because in the case of STP, we first configure our loop-free environment. So loop-free in this case, OSPF, that is based upon the loop-free topology. So in this case, we are talking about OSPF or with RIP. So in this case, RIP, that is Routing Information Protocol. So the main objective, in this topic, we compare between RIP and OSPF, because these two protocols are very much currently people are using. So when we are talking about RIP, so RIP is like a cross sign in mobile phone. So basically, this technology works with the example in call in and call out. So the second, that is OSPF. In the case of OSPF, it's like a Google map. They will tell complete information about your destination and which know the path. But in the case of RIP, we don't know about the which path are call going from which router to which router. But in the case of OSPF, they tell the complete complete destination path from your location to your destination location. So in this case, in this example, it's suppose it's our own network. First feature of OSPF is a minimal routing traffic. So first feature of OSPF, that is, it is minimal routing traffic. So in the case of RIP, they send entire routing table with other routers. In the case of RIP, because we are having we are having different versions of RIP V1, RIP V2. Basically, these two versions are RIP 1, that is for they are broadcasting the data, and RIP 2, that is for multicast. So this is a basic difference between RIP 1 and RIP 2. And on the other hand, in the case of OSPF, their only update are sent. They only update. They cannot send entire routing table to the rest of the connected routers. They just update this is a new entry, and you please make or you just update the entry. So this is a rapid convergence. There is in this case there is no timer. Suppose these are the examples in front of your PPT. There is minimal routing traffic. So then we are having rapid convergence. Rapid convergence, that means there is no timer in this case, and they only find shortest path with no delay in the case of OSPF. But on the other hand, RIP, they send complete entire routing table to the nearest devices. So third one, that is scalable. So scalable, that means there is no hop count, in this case. So there is no hop count in the case of OSPF, but in RIP there is a hop count between 0 to 58. That means total number 16. So and they will not work with that hook count. So we will use large or medium size network. So each router know all the routers. So next that is accurate route metrics. So in rep, that depends upon the hop count. In the case of OSPF, that depends upon the speed of the network. It depends upon the speed of the network, or we can say that the broadcast speed. So what is hop count? So basically hop, that terms the refer to the numbers of routers that a packet or a portion of data that passes through from its source to the destination. So OSPF much better than the RIP. Next we are having the OSPF conversion behavior. So now check how OSPF conversion behavior. Suppose we have three routers. Suppose we have three routers RTA, B and C. So configure with OSPF. So what LSA flooding occur? What LSA flooding occur? So in LSA flooding, our router which have LSA with each other. So basically LSA, what is LSA? So basically LSA stands for link state advertisement. In the case of STP, they are sending BPDUs. They are exchanging BPDUs. But in the case of OSPF, they are exchanging LSA. That is link state advertisements. So all LSAs are shared in LSDB. LSDB. So that is basically in front of the diagram LSB, that is completed database. So once LSA in this case they are using SPF algorithm that runs shortest route and designed or we can say that it store the IP routings. So suppose RTA in the given diagram, suppose RTA receive advertisement from RTB. In RTB and RTC. So in the case of RTB and RTC, they have one common device like host A. Suppose we are having one host A in this. So speed or connection between the router A and router B is suppose 100 kbps speed, and from router A to router C is 100 mbps. So which one is faster? So this is all calculation done by the SPF algorithm, that is specifically working in the case of OSPF. So because of that, that depends upon the advertisement speed. That is broadcast speed. What is the speed of the broadcast to transfer the LSA flooding? So next. So next we are having router ID. So in router ID is basically used to identify the router or unique ID, because every router they need a unique identity over the internet. So first we have to use to identify the router and for assign the user ID or unique ID to a particular router. So each ID is unique from each other. So the value is similar in the case of IP like 32 bit. In the case of OSPF V4. In the case of OSPF V4. In the case of V4, there is no need to assign any router ID. But in the case of OSPF V6, that is it is mandatory to define. It is mandatory to define, otherwise it will not work. In the case of OSPF 6, in the case of OSPF 4, there is no need to assign any user ID to a particular router. But in the case of OSPF V6, we have to assign particular router ID to each device. So in the case of OSPF V4, that take highest loopback interface. So if the loopback interface is So if the loopback interface is not available, then router change their physical address. Physical address. So next is OSPF supported network type. So basically, there are four types in this case. First one is first one is broadcast. Second one is point to point, and third is non-broadcast multi-access. Fourth one is point to multicast. So non-broadcast multicast access, that is for abbreviation is NBMA. So in this case, we need Ethernet network, or we can say that Ethernet technology to apply this network scenario. So second, we need is serial link cable. Whether we are talking about the point-to-point connection between, in this case, point-to-point, that means we are directly connected with our destination with the help of any physical medium. So in the case of NBMA, that means they are applying the frame relay. Frame relay, or we are talking about the layer 2 protocol. So in the case of point to multicast, that means there is no layer, or we can say that in the case of network 2 and 3, basically it's a combination of 2 and 3. They are connected with the point to point, as well as they are connected with the non-broadcast multicast access. So next we are having OSPF. So in this case, Ethernet in broadcast, even though it is point-to-point protocol, that network, and if you choose serial interface to other network, then it would be like automatically point-to-point network, and it is taken as a point-to-point. And if you are connected to destination directly, they are suppose, or they are assuming that we are connecting as a point-to-point network. So this is a way of OSPF to identify. So these are the other two types of NBMA and point to point. NBMA and point to multicast. So in the case of NBMA, that is that use frame relay interface switch, and so this network that behave like a broadcast network as shown in a diagram. And on the other hand, point to multicast, that is a collection of a multiple point to point. It is multiple point to point link. So there is no default network type over there. So no default network type, but you can use any ADM, or we can say that you can use any frame. So next we are having so next is designated route and backup designated route. So this is the first what would happen first. Basically, first, that is for VDR election. VDR election happened. So basically, this broadcast and NBMA the types of DRBDA elections. So in this case, so as shown in the example, so in this example, all the routers are connected with the same LAN as shown in the diagram. Suppose there is one router, router 2, router 3, and router 4. So suppose all the routers are connected with the same LAN, and they have to share routers with each other. And because they have to know about the topology, so means they have to share LSA with each other. LSA with each other. So at the adjacency means now about the neighbors as well as the LSA of each other, or we can say that that share the router ID or nearby routers. Suppose it's a router 1, router 2, router 3, and router 4. First, they exchange LSA between all the routers, and they check. In this case, there is two methods, or we can say that two relationship over there. So first one is neighborship and adjacencies. So neighborship and adjacency means basically neighborship, you only know about your neighbor name. Only know about your neighbor name. Suppose R3 router 3 only know about the R2. It is not they don't know about the R1 and R2. They only just neighbor name only. Just only name, nothing else. But in the case of adjacency, so in the case of adjacency, in this case, they how many, for example, they know how many children they are having. Suppose R3, they know about the R2's children. Suppose this is PC1, PC2, PC3. So in the case of OSPF neighborship, and they are first exchanging a hello packet with each other in every 10 seconds, or we can say that in every 10 to 40 seconds, they destroy their packet. So maximum time, maximum living time for each LSA packet, that is, or we can say that a hello packet, that is maximum time is 40 seconds. So, but in the case of MBMA, hello packet every 30 seconds and dead after every 120 seconds. In the case of point to multi-point, that is same time for NBA. So, what would happen in the case of 10 seconds and 40 seconds? So why we use DR elections? So why we are using this election? To avoid the LSA flooding. To avoid the LSA flooding. We are first election. Why we are doing DR election? So to stop the LSA flooding. So because all the routers that share LSA with all routers for making adjacencies. So if any router don't have DR, DBR in our network, so each router would share LSA with each other. So basic formula for finding the adjacency is, so this is the formula to find out n minus 1 divided by 2. Suppose value for n is 4 minus 1 divided by 2. That is, so here n is a number of routers. In the example in the root we are using 4 routers. So this is full mesh connection because all the devices, all the routers are directly connected with each other. So this is a kind of topology, is mesh topology. So in this DDR is the backup router or database router. So use of DDR is to reduce the number of adjacency. So because RTA, suppose RT A, or we can say that RT1 and RTB, they are not directly connected. So one adjacency is less. Now we have 5. So each we have 6. Suppose we have 10 routers. Suppose we have 10 routers. So n is equal to 10, then the formula is 10, 10 minus 1 divided by 2. So basically it's 90 by 2 or 45. So this is a this 45 is a this 45 is the maximum number of we can say that the adjacencies sharing with the two different devices. So suppose in this routers are not directly connected and directly they are connected with the help of DRDDR. So next we are having neighbor states. So neighbor states, once DRDDR election done, so election basically happened based upon the routers IDs. Election that is happened based upon the router IDs that inverse from the STP. That is highest to lowest, but in the case of OSP is opposite. So neighbors don't share LSA with each other, so there are the relationship in the case of neighbor states. So next we are having designated router election. So basically in this case they are exchanging hello packet or hello protocol with each other, and that carries the basically they carry the hello packet with the router IDs. And next is link state establishment. So basically initially routers has is down state and send hello message to every interval of 10 seconds. So after every each 10 seconds they share hello message with each others, and hello message that contains router ID and area ID. So basically area ID that should be same. It should be same, then they would become neighbors. So after 2 were done, then DDR election happened. Then our EX starts. Then EX start that exchange packets. That exchange packets. What type of different packets they are exchanging? First they exchange hello packet. So first they exchange hello packet. Then database descriptor, packet, then LSR, that is link state request, and LSCU, that is link state update. Fifth one is LSACU, that is link state technology. So in the case of STP, there are only two BPDU exchange. In the case of STP, there are only two BPDU exchange. That in the case of XStart, that exchange database descriptor packet, database represent with sequence numbers. So next. So in this case, they are exchanging hello packet with each other. So first they will send the LSR link state request. Given diagram, they first exchange LSR because they are sending link state request, and after that, basically in the LSR packet there is hello packet. they will get back reply from the destination. The destination they are working as a LSAK, that is link state acknowledgement. So neighbor discovery. So in this case, this is a complete hello packet, and they perform hello packet exchange with each neighbors. That is, they using their hello interval. So in this case, router priority, or we can say that there is a priority range. Because we can also assign the priority to a particular router. So what is the range of priority router is, that is from 0 to 255. This is the range for the priority. So by default, router priority is 1 by default. If we assign router value 255, that means if we assign 255 as a router ID, so that means it will become DR. DR, that is designated router, and 254 is BDR, and the opposite from it's basically it's opposite from the STP. So if we assign 0, that means that router not part in the router election. If we assign a user ID to a 0 router ID to a particular router, so that means that router is not part in the router election. So router death interval timer, basically that is it. If hello packet not received within 40 seconds by the destination, then death interval activate. So means after every four hello packet, they check whether our destination is connected or not. So next we are having backup designated route election. So basically, in the order to make improve the efficiency of transmission to a new designated router. So a backup designation router is assigned for broadcast, each broadcast and NBMA network. So the backup router, designated router, is also adjacent to all router on the network and become the designated router. So when the previous designated router fail, so if there were no backup designated router present, no adjacency would have to be formed between the new designated router and all other routers that is attached to the network. So next. So before we start of this, I'm going to launch first poll. So basically, this poll question is based upon your first question is based upon your practical part. We already did this practical. And second question, that is based upon the MAC address. So the first question is, which of the following commands can switch a view from the system view to the user view? going to end the code. I'm going to show the result. So basically, the first answer is for first question is which of the following command can switch view from the system view to the user view. So basically, the command is quit. Whether you are write complete quit word or you just write Q and then press enter key, then it will be a quit from system view to user view. And the second question is a layer 2 LAN switch that generates map table entries according to the given receive from frame basically. So the answer for this question is that is source MAC address. So I'm going to start sharing result. So next is database synchronization. So basically, in the case of link state routing protocol, it is very important for all routers. It is very important for all the routers, that is link state database to stay synchronized. To stay synchronized, in the case of OSPF, that simplifies this by requiring only adjacent routers that remain synchronized. The synchronization process begins as soon as the router attempt to bring up the adjacencies. So each router that describes its database by sending the sequence of database descriptor packet to its neighbors. So each database descriptor packet describe a set of LSA that belonging to the router's database. So when the neighbors sees as LSA that is more recent than its own database copy, so it and it make a note that this newer LSA request that should be requested. So this sending and receiving of database descriptor packet is called the database exchange process. So next we are having establishing full adjacencies. So during and after database exchange process, each router has a list of those LSs for which the neighbor has more up-to-date instance. So the link state request packet is used to request the piece of the neighbor's database that are more up-to-date, and multiple link state request packet may need to be used. So next we are having OSPF metric. So OSPF that calculate the cost of an interface that is based upon the bandwidth. That is based upon the bandwidth of the interface specifically. So the calculation formula is cost of interface so the formula for calculating the cost of interface is equal to reference value of bandwidth. So the reference value of bandwidth basically is that is configurable for which the default is 100 Mbps. So with the formula of finding the calculation of the bandwidth, so next we are having shortest path tree. So basically, a router that has achieved a full state is considered to have received all the link state advertisement, means all the received LSs, and synchronize its link state database (LSB), and with that of the adjacent neighbors. So the link state information that collected in the link state database is then used to calculate the shortest path of each network. So each router only relies on the information in the LSB. LSBB in order to independently that calculate the shortest path of each destination, as a opposite to relying on select route information from peers, which is deemed to be the best suited for to a destination. So the calculation of the shortest path tree, however, means that each router must utilize additional resources to achieve this achieve these operations. So next we have OSPF areas. So smaller network may involve a select number of routers which operate as a part of the OSPF, basically OSPF domain. So these routers are considered be a part of an area which is represented by the identical link state database for all the routers within the domain. So as a single area, OSPF can assign any area number. However, for the sake of future design, implementation is we can say that recommended that this area is assigned as a zero area. So next is this need to forward link state advertisement. The subsequent calculation, in this case, subsequent calculation of the shortest path that is based on the link state database and becomes increasingly complex as more and more router become a part of the OSPF. So as such, OSPF is capable of supporting a hierarchical structure to limit the size of link state database. So and the number of calculations that must be performed when determining the shortest path to the given network. So the implementation of the multiple areas that allows an OSPF domain to to a part of the to a part in the calculation process that is based upon the link state database. So basically that is only identical for each area. As a given example. So basically certain routers known as area border routers. That is area border routers, that is ARB, sorry, ABR, area border routers. So they basically operate between areas and contain multiple link state database. Link state database for each area, that is ABR, is connected to. So in the case of area 0, that must be configured with multiple area OSPF exits, and for which all the traffic sent between areas is generally required a traverse of 0. Traverse area of 0 in order to ensure routing loops do not occur. So basic funda for applying the OSPF, that is a loop-free network. So next, how we can establish OSPF. So first write the OSPF in a particular router and assign the router ID and assign the router name. So this is a practical portion for the configuration of the OSPF. How we can assign or how we can check OSPF whether it is configured or not. So here we are just applying the authentication mode to a particular router. This is a way for debugging the OSPF packets. So this is it is often necessary in this case. It is often necessary to control the flow of routing information and limit the range for which such router protocol can extend. So this is a particularly the case where connecting with external network from whom knowledge of internal router is to be protected. So after applying OSPF silent interface, then this is a configuration validation of the OSPF. You just type display OSPF interface, then they will show the complete interface, or they will tell the what is the priority applied to the interface. As I told you earlier, there is a by default priority that is 1. So these are the questions that is based upon the current topic. So what is the purpose of the death interval in the case of OSPF header? Who will tell me the answer for this question? Vivek? Vivek? Prabloor? Shivam?
Yes, sir.
शिवम क्या आंसर रहेगा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का?
Sir, dead interval in OSPF header.
What is the purpose of the death interval in the case of OSPF header? Basically, चलो मैं ही बता देता हूँ. Basically, it is just find the shortest path tree. So that is the main purpose for death interval in the case of OSPF header. So what about the second question in a broadcast network? What is the multi-cast address that is used by the designated router, that is DER, and backup designated router RDP for listening for the link state update information? So basically, answer for this question is that is signal areas. They first find the signal area, then assign a value to a particular area. So these all are about the link state OSPF. So now I'm going to start practical part. So basically this practical part is very much, you can say that important for you, because from this scenario number of questions जो है आपके वो फाइनल पेपर में आते हैं. नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, किसी एक की नहीं बात करेंगे हम लोग, एक से ज़्यादा जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वो इसमें से आते हैं. So you just make a diagram in your notebook. You just draw a diagram. Then you will apply these, you can say that we configure all the router IDs, or we can say that we are just applying switches over there. So suppose we are having switch 1, switch 2, switch 2. They are connected. Here we are having one PC. Here we are having Ethernet 0/0/1. Here we are having 0/0/2. Here we are having 0/0/2. Here we are having 0/0/3. 0/0/3. We all are interconnected. Now assigning IP address. Now you people are having given IP address. You must assign these IP address to a particular switch. Here again we are assigning VLAN, virtual LAN, to a particular connection. So here IP is 10.10.11 2/24. Here we are just applying subheading to a particular this topology. And as I told you earlier, because STP is based upon the trunk state or access code. So trunk code is always applied between the switches. So here we are just applying trunk is 10, trunk 10, trunk 10. Here we are applying access code. Access 10. The 10 is our VLAN. When 10 that means we are applying VLAN over here. VLAN 10. So basically this scenario is based upon these switches where we just apply STP. STP over we are applying RSTP over there. So this is the scenario. From this scenario, there are ample number of questions जो मैं आपके final paper में आते हैं. So now we are going to start this practical part. Right? So same as it is, आप लोग final practical file बनाओगे, उसमें इस scenario को भी solve करोगे. So now I am going to solve or I am going to configure this scenario. So first go to the ENSP software and start applying or start configuring the, because first we need 3 switches. So just click on a switch, drag and drop, just here drag first switch, second switch and third switch. Now next step is to making a connection between the switches. Is my screen is visible to you? Sonia, Sukhminder Pal,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
ENSP दिख रहा है आप लोगों को?
Yes, sir.
इसको नोट कर लेना, फाइल में भी आपने यही लिखना है, ठीक है?
हाँ जी.
Yes, sir.
So next is we are making a connection between. So in this case we are using copper cable. So just click over here and just see a diagram. We are having different gigabit Ethernet numbers. So जो नंबर आपको गिवन है वही नंबर आपने यूज करना है, अदरवाइज आपके जो मार्क्स हैं वो भी कट हो सकते हैं. So in this case switch 1, suppose we are first applying switch 2 to switch 1. So here we are using gigabit Ethernet 1 to here 1, and after that from this gigabit Ethernet 3 to this gigabit Ethernet 3, and after that switch 2 to these are gigabit Ethernet just be applied. And now next is next we want to connect one PC. Just click on PC and that and make a connection between switch 2 and switch PC1. So again select a cable, keep it forward, and here is Ethernet. So now our layout is ready. And now next part is to assign IP address or to configuration part. Next step is to configuration part. So before configuration, if we just double click over there, so before we will start this topology, click select all the topology and click the start device. time it will take approx 1 to 2 minutes to start this topology. Before we start, I'm going to launch second tool question. It's the second tool question for you. So here there is one problem to start this simulator. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share the resume. So answer for the first question is the switch has 24 ports. Each port has access port that much different VLAN can belong to the host. So the answer for this question is 24. So answer is C. In the case of second question, there is a switch support 802.1q protocol, which support up to the this function that is a VLAN. So in this case, that is 4096. So this is the LAN for the 4096 for the VLAN switch. I'm going to start sharing. I'm going to restart this topology. This is some problem. I'm going to uninstall first this. Just wait 1 minute. I'm going to uninstall the software and install again. Just wait 1 minute. Switch 1, switch 2, switch 3. Internet connection between we are using copper wire. That is G001. That we detected this interface to speed. From switch 2 to switch 3, that is DWD connecting and 2. Just press escape key and now we are going to attach one PC to the particular device because this practical is based upon the STP working. So after applying all the configuration, our ping command that must be working. Ping command from PC to every switch. This is recovery connect to let's escape the now this start this technology. Starting device. We are getting one error. Failed device switch 3. So there is an error. Now I'm going to open Notepad and write all the commands that are working with this topology. So first I'm going to write for switch 1. Switch 1, specifically for switch 1. So first command, first when you start this topology, you are under user view mode. You are under user view mode. Then you must enter into the system view mode. So how we can enter system mode? Can anybody tell me how we can enter system mode? Gagandeep for
Yes, sir.
how we can enter in system mode from a user mode.
सर सिस्टम मोड लिखकर
So
सिस्टम व्यू
system hyphen view. When enter click करोगे system hyphen views, then you will enter into the system view. Because in the user view, you cannot assign a name to a particular device. You cannot assign IP address to a system. So after entering in a system view, you can assign name to a particular device. You can assign IP address to a particular device. So after entering system view, our next step is to assign the name to a particular device. So how we can assign a name? So you just write sys name, suppose switch 1, then press enter key. Then after that, now we are using here in the given diagram, in the particular diagram we are using trunk port over there, trunk port between the different switches and one PC. So after assigning the name, we just assign a VLAN. We just write VLAN and space 10. Then after applying VLAN 10, just press Q button. Q, that is for quit. Quit. Then after quitting, you must enter into the interface of VLAN. So how we can enter the interface of VLAN? Just type int space uh, VLAN space 10. So then press enter key. Now you are entered in the VLAN 10. So after entering VLAN 10, you must assign the IP address to a particular device. So how we can assign the IP address to a particular device? So that is IP space address space. So what is the IP address for switch 1? As it in the board, that is 10.10.11.1. Then here we are just applying 24. 24 that is for subnetting. Then that means we have to write over there. So we can write just press space key and write 24. Then enter key. So right now we are just applying VLAN to a particular this switch 1 and assign VLAN, and after assigning VLAN now we assign one IP address to a particular this device. So then after that you just press Q button. Now we are going to apply link type, port link type. I told you earlier, before we applying the particular gigabit Ethernet, we must assign the trunk port or access port. So now we are going to assign a trunk port to a particular port number, that is gigabit Ethernet 001. So how we can enter in gigabit Ethernet 001? So after quitting, just type int, just write gig. Gig, after writing gig, just press tab key. Just press tab key. Just press tab key, then you will get complete internet gigabit Ethernet. Then press space key. Now we are going to assign a IP, which gigabit Ethernet. So which gigabit Ethernet? That is 0/0/0. Sorry, 1. Then press enter key. So now we are entered in this particular port. So now here we are just applying uh, port link type trunk. Then press enter key. And now we are going to apply VLAN over there. So just write port type जो आप एक रख रहे हो VLAN 10 space VLAN 10. Then press enter key. So your port link type trunk is established or assigned to this port number gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1. Then after that go to second port, because in switch we are having two different ports, G001 and G003. And now we are going to apply this gigabit Ethernet port. So just write quit over there, quit, and press enter key. Now we are going to write same command, that is int gigabit ethernet, that is 0/0/3. Then press enter key. Then again here we want to apply a trunk port, because trunk port is always between the different switches. So again we type p port link type trunk port p space n space p, then press enter key. And second command, that is for applying the VLAN, p space a space v space then 10, then press enter key. So this is all about the switch 1, because our switch 1 is connected with two switches, switch 2 and switch 1. Because our switch 1 is connected with switch 2 and switch 3. Switch 1 is having the IP address of 10.10.11.1, 11.1/24, that is subnetting for this. And switch 1 is having two gigabit Ethernet connections, G001 and G003. Right now, we all configured all the part of switch 1, whether it is trunk or whether it is VLAN. And VLAN we applied over there and here. We applied G001, VLAN trunk and G003. And now we are going to start switch 2. Switch 2, that is connected with two different devices. One is PC, and the second one is switch 3. So now I'm going to write here, suppose switch 2. First enter into system view, to system hyphen view, then press enter key. Then assign system name, sysname space switch 2, then press enter key and apply VLAN 10. Then again press Q button, then apply interface VLAN 10, because now we are going to assign IP address to this device, and now we are entered into the VLAN 10. So just type IP address space. So what is the IP address of switch 2? That is 10 10.11.2 space 24, and press enter key. So after applying the IP address to this device, now we are goes to the now we are going to the particular Ethernet gigabyte. Just type quit, then enter. So interface is interface gigabit is 0/0/2 for switch 2, sorry, switch 2 to switch 3. So press enter key. Now we are going to apply full type 2, full type 2. Press enter key. And second command is p space space 10. Press enter key. And here we are going to apply STP. So how we can assign STP mode? So we just type STP mode RSTP. So this is a way to assign particular protocol to a particular device. So type STP mode RSTP and press enter key. Then if you want to display whether your VLAN is established or VLAN is established or it is not established properly. You just type anytime. You just type after applying any topology. Suppose display space VLAN 10. After typing display VLAN 10, you will get all the information about the VLAN. Whether your VLAN is completely assigned or established or not. Same as it is for STP. If you want to check whether your STP is completely assigned or not, you just type display space STP. Then you will get complete information about the STP, whether your STP is implemented or not, whether your which switches act as a root, and what are the different switches act as a non-root, because STP is based upon a one, because in the case of STP, first root election happened. So in the case of root election, we must assign STP. So command for STP is STP root RSTP. With RSTPs, superior than STP. First root port election happens. So in this case, we are applying STP. Or if you want to display whether our STP is applied or not, you just type display space STP, and you will get complete information about the STP. I will share one video, same video for this practical. I will share with you. So after that, this, because in switch 2 we already assigned a trunk port, but there is one PC that is connected with switch 2. So here that means we want to assign a one access port. So how we can apply access port? So the command for access port is first go to particular interface. So interface is interface gigabit. It is 0/0/4. Then press enter key. Now we are in this gigabit Ethernet, specifically this port. Then you just write port space link type access, and press enter key. So the port default VLAN is 10, and press enter key. STP if you are not applied yet. So now we are assigned one this port as a access port. So now go to switch 3. Switch 3. So in switch 3, first same procedure, system hyphen view, then press enter key. Now we are going to assign name to a particular device. So system name space switch 3, then then apply VLAN 10, and press enter key, and press Q button, and go to interface VLAN 10, VLAN 10. Now we are going to apply IP address. IP address. What is the IP address for this device is? It is 10.10.12. 10.12.2 space 24. Now press enter key. Now press key quit. Yes, now we just assigned the IP address, and now we are going to assign the trunk port. So how we can assign trunk port to a particular interface gigabit? So you type int gig space 0/0/2. Press enter key. Press enter key and we just write press enter key. Type so now our STB is established between the all the switches. Now just go to the PC. If other one or two ports are not configured, so way same to assign the link type port trunk or the because in this practical we just assigned all the IP address to the switches. We are going we applied VLAN 3, we applied one trunk port over there, and we applied one access port here between switch 2 to PC1. So if I miss any gigabit Ethernet connection, so you just assign particular gigabit Ethernet to a port link type trunk or port link type VLAN. So after all the configuration of switches, you just you just assign a IP address to a particular PC. So you just double click over there, and suppose it is PC1 and it is IP address for PC. And now mention there. So IP address for the PC is IP address for a PC. So IP address for this PC is 10.10.11.10. So can anybody tell me what is the subnet mask for this particular device? Anyone, just raise your hand. जो बताएगा उसके assignment में highest marks. What will be the subnet mask for this device? Aditya Doshi. I am going to remove, जो अभी reply नहीं करेंगे उनको मैं remove करने लगा. Remove means absent. Anmol, Niklesh, संयम, सोनू रावत,
Yes, sir.
मतलब क्या रहेगा, व्हाट इज द सबनेट मास्क फॉर दिस पीसी?
सबनेट मास्क
हाँ जी,
लिट्टी चोखा खा लिया।
सर 255
255
and 255
255
2550.
ऐसा क्यों?
बढ़िया,
पक्का नहीं पता सही है कि नहीं।
पक
नहीं
जीरो है।
पता सही है कि नहीं, पता होना चाहिए सर।
मेरे पास तो रहा। ओए
यशवंत, इज इट करेक्ट सबनेट मास्क?
यस सर।
क्यों
लो
क्यों करेक्ट है?
सर, ये क्लास ए के
क्लास ए से है, ठीक है।
ये तीनों 255.25 रहेगा, और सर लास्ट में अपडेटिंग कर रहे हैं तो 0 से स्टार्ट होगा, क्योंकि
ये तो आपका लकीली तुक्का चल गया, अदरवाइज अगर हम देखें तो हम लोगों ने सबनेटिंग की है 24, सबनेटिंग की थी 24।
यस सर।
24 जो है वो सबनेटिंग की, टोटल नंबर 5 फीटर से 32 24, तो क्या बचा आपके पास 8। दैट्स व्हाई a subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, because a single octet that contain 8 bit value. That is why your subnet mask is 255.255.255.0.
सर अगर सिंगल होता तो 10 छोड़ के 255 माइनस 10।
कितना कितना होता है?
ये सर समझने
तो हमने सबनेटिंग की तो थी, आपके पास 24 है, अगर यहाँ पे 20 होता, सपोज 20 होता तो कितना होता? 12। दैट मींस इस ऑब्जेक्ट
उधर
की
वाले दिख नहीं रहा है, क्या दिख रहे हैं?
उधर वाला बिट है 255 255 255 0 according to 24, according to 24. If our subnet mask is 20 here, then what will be the subnet mask for this particular PC? Because in the case of this 32 minus 24, because we are getting 8 bit, 8 bit, that means
Yes, sir.
single octet, single octet. So single octet is,
यस सर।
otherwise if we are assigning 20 over here, that means कुछ bit इसकी भी ये लेता है, कुछ bit आती ना, 8 इसकी आती, 4 bit इसकी आती।
जी सर, तो 16 बिट आ जाएगा सर।
हाँ ठीक है, चलो, this is the way to assign subnet mask or as well as the IP address. So now I'm going to launch code 3. Basically this is based upon the current topic जो आज की है। Those who are not replying me, वो absent है आज। First question is OSPF route calculation process. The router sends flooding LSA. Flooding refers router fetch. And second question is ping using a series of the message to determine the communication latency and packet loss. Now I'm going to end the poll. So answer for the first question is answer is C, that send the links a database and synchronization process. This is the first question's answer is part C. It will be the second. Shami Alam, what is the answer for second question? Rupali. And Sakshi, what is the answer for second question?
हेलो
Yes, Sakshi, what is the answer for second question?
सर मैंने ट्रेस सेट किया था
क्यों? Richa,
मैंने भी ट्रेस सेट किया था
Ritesh,
सर मैंने आईसीएमपी किया पर वो मॉडल था सर
ICMP किया,
पर वो मॉडल था
तो क्या आंसर होना चाहिए था अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? Last call to Aditya Joshi. Anmol, रमनीक कौर, जो लोग रिप्लाई नहीं कर रहे मैं उनको रिमूव करते जा रहा हूँ। That means they are by default absent. Prabnoor,
Yes, sir.
what is the answer for question? This
Hello.
question is- What is the answer for second question?
सर मैं टेलनेट कीता है।
Telnet, क्यों? तो बात हो रही है प्रोटोकॉल की, बात हो रही है प्रोटोकॉल की। आप ट्रेसर और टेलनेट तो कर ही नहीं सकते। दो ऑप्शन है बची थी, एफटीपी और आईसीएमपी। सो व्हाई वी आर व्हिच प्रोटोकॉल इज यूज्ड बाय द पिंग कमांड, दैट इज आईसीएमपी. So question little bit is tricky, but the answer is C, because ICMP is specifically designed for getting reply back from the destination, or they are finding the or they are tracing the route from your device to the destination device. So the answer is ICMP. So this is a way to design. So this is a basic diagram. इसके बेस पे नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आपको फाइनल पेपर में भी आएंगे। Here we just applied VLAN. We are applying trunk port over there and assigning IP address to a switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and assigned IP address to a particular system. So run code is pending. Now I'm going to again launch the poll, next poll question, because it's easy questions. So first question, that is based upon true false. So static routes can be used for large network. And second question is, when the network topology changes, if the best path to reach the destination IP is not available, the dynamic routing protocol can adapt to network change and determine the other's best path to reach the destination IP. So just tell me, all of you are having ENSP software? Tell me, you people are having this software, ENSP software or not?
हेलो।
हाँ जी तनवीर,
हाँ जी सर।
सॉफ्टवेयर है आपके पास ENSP या नहीं?
हेलो।
हेलो तनवीर, तो अगर नहीं है तो आप लोग इंटरनेट से भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। अगर आप नियर बाय हो कॉलेज के तो कॉलेज आके भी ले सकते हो, बिकॉज दिस सॉफ्टवेयर इज वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर यू पीपल, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में भी मैंने आपको एक प्रैक्टिकल भी करवाना है। सो नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन फाइनल एग्जाम जो आएंगे तो उसमें बहुत सारे प्रैक्टिकली बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हैं। So you people are very much, you must be aware from this specifically software. is there any doubt? कि अगर किसी के पास ENSP सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है तो इस आप लोग मेरे को इसके लेक्चर के बाद कॉल कर लेना। यस आकाश।
हेलो
यस आकाश।
सर, मैंने ना वो भी एनएसपी पे ये कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ट्राई की है, बट वो ना उसमें पिंग कर रहा हूँ तो रिक्वेस्ट टाइम आउट हो रहा है।
दैट मीन्स कोई पोर्ट रह गई होगी। ये देखो जितनी भी ईथरनेट के पोर्ट्स है ना, G001 G001 दोनों पे अप्लाई करना है। G002 G/0/2 सब पे अप्लाई करोगे तो फिर आपका पिंग काउंट चलेगा।
ओके सर।
ठीक है। अदरवाइज ये जो टोपोलॉजी है आपको मैं सेंड भी कर दूंगा, मैंने सॉल्व की हुई है, बट यू
ओके
फर्स्ट अप्लाई बाय योरसेल्फ। पहले एक बार जरूर ट्राई करो, अगर नहीं चलेगी तो मैं आपको सेंड कर दूंगा।
ओके सर।
आपको कंप्लीट वीडियो भी इसकी सेंड कर दूंगा। तो उसका साइज थोड़ा लार्ज था इसलिए मैं सेंड नहीं कर पाया, अदरवाइज मैंने आपको सेंड कर देनी थी इसी वीक में। और एनी डाउट? एनी डाउट जस्ट रेज योर हैंड। Then I am going to end the meeting. Yes, Abhinav. Yes, Abhinav. Yes, Sonia. No. Yes, Sonia. Yes, Abhinav.
सर आवाज आ रही? तो एकदम पोल को थोड़ा टाइम दिया करो।
पोल का
पोल को थोड़ा टाइम दिया करो सर, हर बार ही मेरा रह जाता है, मतलब आप पहले उसको मतलब जल्दी खत्म कर देते हो।
3-3 4-4 मिनट मिलते हैं तो और
नहीं नहीं सर, इतना नहीं, सच्ची बात है, ऐसे नहीं है, इतना नहीं होता। और ये वाला तो मैं सबमिट ही करने लगी थी, इस बार तो आपने बोला नहीं मैं करने लगूं। भाई सर मुझे जब मुझे आता होता है और फिर भी ना हो तब भी ऐसा होता है, मुझे बड़ा गुस्सा आता है। प्लीज आप थोड़ा सा उसका टाइम एक्सीड कर दो।
ठीक है। अदरवाइज मैं मिनिमम 3 मिनट आपको पोल में देता हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे साथ सामने टाइमर भी चल रहा होता है। आपके सामने टाइमर नहीं होता, मेरे सामने टाइमर भी होता है कि कितना टाइम हो गया इसको कॉल को लॉन्च किए हुए। उस पोल को लॉन्च करने के मैं 3 समटाइम 4 भी मिल जाते हैं जब पोल का क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा लेंथी हो जाता है या थोड़ा सा वैल्यू बेस्ड हो। आपके पास ENSP सॉफ्टवेयर है सोनिया? यस अभिनव। अभिनव अनम्यूट करो।
हेलो
जी अभिनव।
सर, ये मेरा फर्स्ट लेक्चर है सर, तो कुछ समझने में दिक्कत आ रही है सर, और मेरे पास सॉफ्टवेयर भी नहीं है सर, तो डाउनलोड करने का कुछ।
कहाँ पे हो वैसे इस टाइम पे?
घर पे हूँ सर।
ओके, तो आप ऐसा करना, यहाँ पे मेरे को ईमेल आईडी सेंड कर देना, मैं आपको लिंक सेंड कर दूंगा जहाँ से आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो।
ओके सर, ओके।
ठीक है। तो अमृतसर में ही हो तुम?
नो सर, घर पे हूँ,
ओके
बिहार।
ठीक है। चलो आप मेरे को ईमेल कर देना, या अपना ईमेल एड्रेस मेरे को ना व्हाट्सएप कर देना, मैं आपको लिंक व्हाट्सएप कर दूँगा।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है। थैंक यू सर।
Students, now I am going to end the meeting.